So as we look at the holistic impact of the scholarships being given to wildlife biology students at the University of Montana, in total, every year, we're able to give nearly $200,000 in support of our students in these scholarships. And that's from students who are prospective students who we're recruiting to come here, all the way to students that are headed into their senior year. We have a really robust set of scholarships that are able to support our students in ways that without those scholarships, they probably wouldn't be able to be here, some of them, or others, they'd have to take a second job at the expense of hands-on learning opportunities that are key to their future success. So these scholarships are doing really critical roles in terms of just helping our students be able to realize their dreams and goals with the wildlife biology degree.
When I first got into the wildlife field, I was in high school. I was after my junior year of high school, and so one of our graduation requirements was that we do an internship of some sort. So I was looking for an internship and happened to email the right biologist in Colorado who agreed to bring me on for a portion of the summer to work on a mule deer and mountain lion project. And I really had no idea what I was getting myself into at the time because I wasn't sure at that point what I wanted to major in or what exactly I wanted to do. I'd always been interested in wildlife and biology and knew that that was, the natural resources direction was probably where I wanted to go. But then working on that wildlife project, it was, the sort of moment of clarity where I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. So learning about the scholarships that I've received was obviously very exciting, but almost a little surreal. So much time of my life, at this point proportionally, was spent in, middle school and high school, sort of working towards this idea of, being able to go to the university of my choice, funded by scholarships if everything works out right. And so yeah, the scholarships that I've received have definitely made it possible for me to be here. And so I really think that they just present such a huge opportunity for me to be here in one of the best places in the world to study wildlife.
The money from the donors is critical for our research. For example, for mine, the money is used towards helping us go to the field to collect our data, as well as to do genetic analyses. So my research is examining how genetics can influence extinction risk in really small populations that are isolated. And so we're examining this in small populations of West Slope cutthroat trout to help inform managers the risks of managing these populations in isolation, as well as what some possible solutions are to how to best conserve these isolated populations. And I care directly about conserving these trout populations, but the theory that we're working on actually extends to most other animals. The same principles generally apply to mammals, to fish, even to reptiles. So it's a general question, but we're focusing in on fish, and yes, I definitely care about conserving these populations. When I found out I got the Franke Fellowship, it was a huge weight off my shoulders. I knew I didn't have to worry about any financial concerns, and I had a lot more time just to completely focus in on my own research and answer the questions I really care about.
I think it's very energizing to have the support from donors to pursue these different projects, and I think in general it creates, a community that is really going places and working towards these conservation problems and different problems in natural resources. And I think having that backing and support from donors makes it possible for the students and creates an environment of that possibility where people and students have an idea and they're encouraged to follow it and pursue it and, actually try to bring those things to fruition.
So to our donors, I want to express my sincerest thanks for making such a positive difference in the lives of our students. So at UM, we have the privilege to work with students every day. And in doing that, we learn about their goals and aspirations to make a positive difference in society, in this case through fish and wildlife conservation. But we also learn about the very real hurdles that they face in affording a college education and supporting themselves through it. The bottom line is Without your support, a number of our students simply wouldn't be here, or they wouldn't be able to get the experience that they need to have a successful career going forward. Now, a lot of these students are going to go on to play very critical roles in fish and wildlife conservation in our society, locally, around the nation, and around the world. So your gift is not only helping these students, but it's helping them achieve a future that we all want. And that's a future where fish, wildlife, and wild places are conserved and sustained for generations to come. It's impactful work, and we're glad you're there with us.